Hi guys, and welcome to my Sen Natural Home Office aesthetic tour, which I've been wanting to do for a while because I've been working on this room for years, trying to make it like the perfect space for me to feel comfortable in. This room is my home office where I do all my content creation and respond to emails and all that stuff, and I tried to build a room that I can really focus in and have all my things that I need for work and content creation, but it also doubles as my gaming room and in a way my hobby room as well, because gaming is my main hobby. So I do use my desk setup aesthetic for both gaming and work. And when I was building this space, I really wanted to bring a more relaxing vibe so I wouldn't get overwhelmed while I was working, but still a place that was like clean and organized in a way that would help me focus on work. So that has really been my goal when building this room, and I have been honestly loving it so far. So I started building this room specifically when I moved into this new house, which I'm a first-time homeowner. I'm very proud about that. But we moved in back in August, I believe, August or like the end of July, and that's where I brought like most of my home office decor that I had on my parents' house, and I just brought it here. But I also made a few changes that I feel like if you haven't been following me on my other socials, you may have not seen. So yeah, we have a few changes, but we also have the same style and warmness of my old home office room. I really did love my old gaming room that I had in my mom's house, but I am happy that I got to rebuild it in this place, because with a new space, you kind of have to make some changes to make it work on every new space that you go to. The square footing of this room is basically the same one as my old one, but because it is a new space, the windows placements are a little bit different in some places, and it is a little bit smaller, not that much, but a little bit. So I did have to make some changes on the furniture that I added to this room, but I'm honestly think I like it even a little bit more, but you guys will tell me when you see it. When I started building this space, I really wanted to bring in a lot of natural touches like woods and bamboos and plants and greens and neutrals. I am very drawn to foresty things and plants in general. It may be because I'm Puerto Rican and, you know, we live in a tropical island, so that has been in my nature since day one. But I realized that when I was looking at inspo of what I wanted this room to become, those are the images that called out to me more. Even general interior decor inspo, not specifically home offices and stuff, but if you go on my Pinterest, all you're gonna see is a lot of wood. I did decide to go with the lighter wood and more of a Sen Japandi aesthetic for my home office and the setup specifically, because I thought it would match more my social media presence in a way that I would like to present myself. So that's why I think I chose the lighter woods for this space. Also, I do like how the lighter woods bring a more like airy and natural and bright feeling to the space. So when I'm working, I feel a little bit more focused and less relaxed than if I were in another room in my house. Another one of my favorite things on my desk setup is my custom built PC. I slowly started getting parts after buying this case, which is the NCSD H9 Flow case. I really love how you can see all of the PC parts, and I usually decorate it inside with some fake plants and stuff, and it kind of feels like a little terrarium on my desk setup, which is really cute. There are so many items in my desk setup that I do love so much, but I have some specifically that stand out to me, like this Aula F75 Matt's Ipomaker Aula keyboard that I added Osume keycaps to it, and these are also the Osume matcha keycaps, and they're like matcha froggy tea aesthetic. But the thing about this keyboard is I just love how clean, how seamless, how elevated it makes my desk look, but it also brings the whimsy of the little frogs and matcha and style and the green that you guys know I do love green. Look at my nails. Look at my nails. I do love green a lot. So I think this is my favorite keyword I have so far, even though I love so many of them, but this one is just perfect right now. I also recently added some small business products that I really love. These are Hello Oregano's 3D printed tech accessories, I guess we could call them. them. This is like a controller holder. So normally when I'm picking products that I want to add to my desk, I try to find products that have that perfect balance of functionality and aesthetics. I love how this specific product blends seamlessly into my desk setup, but if you look close enough, it also stands out because it's sleek, it's minimal, but it's also aesthetically pleasing, which is not something that you usually find in the tech product world. If you really look online, you're gonna see a lot of neon and LED lights and stuff like that, which is not a bad thing. If you like that, go for it. But when I wanted to make my space, I really wanted it to look like a more adult version of a gaming space, something that could again have the things that bring me joy, but also look professional and adult, if that makes sense. And you can see that again with my Nintendo Switch 2, which I did customize with these cases, but I specifically chose two colors that I love, like green and beige, and mixed them together to add that little whimsy stuff. But it's also a very sleek and minimalistic design, which makes it look a little bit more aesthetic and elevated in a way. I also added a little cute charm, which again adds the whimsy back, but the overall design of my Nintendo Switch 2 I feel looks a lot more elevated than other cases that you could find around there. This wooden wall shelf is from Ewart Woods. I really think it's a statement piece for this space because of the soft curves it has, and I tried to decorate it very minimally so we could appreciate its design by itself. You know, sometimes one plant is all you need to make it look amazing. Over on the left of my desk, I have the IKEA Ragnar shelf, and here I just put some collectibles and decor items that I want to display. I have some of my keywords and trinkets, and I really try to find the perfect balance of the items so it looks very intentional. I chose this one because I really love the art table style, and I did study art in college. I actually studied fashion design, but we still had to take all of the art classes, and I am an artist since I was a kid. But this type of desk gives a more unique and homey vibe. It's not as fancy as an electrical standing desk, but I actually really haven't felt like I needed that for work, and I really like how this style looks. These are the IKEA couch shelves, which I kind of customized and styled to make it a little bit more unique in my space. I couldn't find any modular wall shelves that I liked and could fit in my room. So I just decided to get two IKEA couch shelves, and I put one horizontal and then one vertical, and it made like this whole L-shaped modular shelf that we have right here. I did add some drawers to the bottom as well, and with some spaces I just removed fully the divider that's supposed to go there, and on other ones I moved them from the space that they're supposed to be. With some of the dividers, I moved them off to one side. I just wanted something that was a little bit more unique. Usually the couch shelves dividers are in the middle, but I just didn't put the screw thing on, and I put them where I wanted to, and that's how I made like these little smaller cube style spaces in this whole wall shelf. So I added these IKEA cubes because I wanted the shelf to look taller, but I also wanted the look of these modular shelves that you see online, where all the spaces are like a different size because you can move the divisions. Since I couldn't do that with the Calit's shelf originally, I just added some more pieces and I made my own modular wall shelf. I'm hoping you guys are getting what I'm saying. I did end up loving how they look, and I may add more in the future too. I don't know what's gonna happen with that. I also wanted to add some lighting to this shelf because I do love ambient lighting. I think it adds so much to a space, and this being a modular shelf, I thought it would be cool to have different sections with each having their own lighting. Also, as I use this as a little bit of a background for when I'm streaming or recording, I think it would have been fun to have different sections of light just so it's not like a boring old wall shelf, you know, on the room. I got these light bars. They are rechargeable, they're magnetic, you can remove and re-add them to any space that you want, and they're from Amazon. I really love these. I kind of use them more as ambiance. In a way, I think they could work as a plant grow light. They may not be strong enough, but I have no idea because I usually have them on the orange style. But I added two of these. So I added one to the top, I added one to the other Ecid cube. I also added a lower lamp here, and then this lamp from IKEA. I think both of these lamps are for IKEA. IKEA has some really, really good lamps.
I love collecting retro consoles, I think just because of nostalgia, but I definitely love the PlayStation because of its design. It really stands out to me, so I wanted to display it on my wall shelf.
So this latte floor sofa is, I think it's one of my favorite things to have in this room, which is hard because I kind of love everything, but I do love the style of this one. It was hard to choose what chair I wanted for this space because I don't have that big a room for everything that I have in here. And there's so many amazing chairs out there that look really comfy that you can just, get all cozy with and play your games or read your books and stuff. So it's hard to pick one. On my other office, I did have an IKEA Stockholm sofa chair and I loved it. I moved it to my library room, which it's there now. It was an amazing chair, but I don't know why I did want this style because this chair is a little bit more mid-century modern and I wanted to bring another type of interior design style to this room because we do have a lot of minimalistic pieces and then some Japandi, I guess. So some mid-century pieces and touches I think would have made it flow so much better. Also, this chair is very, very comfortable. It's huge in a way. There are bigger chairs, but this one, I think it's big enough that you could be cozy and cuddle up here, but it also looks cool. And that's what we want, Another thing is why I added a chair to my office room, because when people start making a home office, they usually don't think about adding comfortable pieces like sofas or chairs or stuff like that. But I feel that my office room, I really wanted it to be like an extension of my house and my living room. I wanted that feeling that a living room gives you. When you spend time in your living room, it's usually because you have this huge sofa, it's very comfortable, you can watch and enjoy whatever things you have on your living room, you can have people over and stuff like that. And I wanted that same feeling on my home office because it's not just a home office, it's more home office and hobby room and then gaming room. So that feeling was very important to me to bring into this room. And I thought that adding a sofa chair really brings that feeling here. Also, since this is my hobby room in a way, I usually do my hobbies sitting on this chair, like journaling, writing, or gaming, or reading, anything that I want to. Sometimes I watch anime from here since it's behind my desk setup. Very comfy. I really, really do recommend finding some space in your home office or gaming room and adding like a little cozy corner. Chef's kiss. I had one of these low shelves on my old gaming room. I really love how it balances both the mid-century but also the Japandi style, which are two of my favorite interior design styles. The cuts and pieces make it feel like a more elevated piece than just a regular end table, and if you buy more than one like I did here, you can style it in different ways. Here I really just put essentials like more ambient lighting, a paper lamp that I really love, IKEA tiny greenhouse where I put my propagations or small plants that like humidity. I have obviously more keyboards, my Nintendo Switch 1, and some keyboard boxes that I really love their designs, and I added some books that I love just to, balance out the space a little bit more. Also, I think you'll notice there's a lot of Ghibli figurines and plushies around my space, but I do think the way that I place them, they go very naturally with the space. It may be just me because I love Ghibli and I don't mind looking at them every day. I don't know if you guys realize, but I do like to add collectibles and, my favorite characters of animes and movies and all that media stuff that I love. So on this little corner, I just put some cute Funko Pops that, anime characters, amazing ones, my favorite ones. So I do have a little Sora one here. He's so cute. I am a big, big Sora fan. And we have Frieren as well, which is one of my favorite animes, and I love her. Of course, we have some Studio Ghibli stuff, and we have Sukuna from JJK. He is my favorite. Well, one of them, because I have two favorites. But we do have a Sukuna Funko Pop that was gifted to me by my bestie, and that makes it a little bit more special, because she gave me Sukuna and then I gave her Gojo, and now we have our little bestie trinkets that we display in our places. I love it. We also have a stereo on here because who doesn't love Asterion? You know, if you ever play Baldur's Gate 3, you should probably get an Asterion Funko Pop. And I do want to get more Baldur's Gate 3 Funko Pops, but for now I just have Asterion here. Another really cool piece that I have on this shelf is my Sorrow keyboard, which is not an officially themed Sorrow keyboard. I do not remember the code, but I will put it on the screen. It's the NCSC keyboard, and I just added some Sorrow keycaps that were gifted to me, I think for my birthday from a dear friend, and I'm very grateful to get those keycaps as a gift. I think I put them on my throne, and that's how she gifted to me, but she does know I love Sorrow. Who doesn't love Sorrow, you know? So we have this really cool custom Sorrow keyboard, and then I have it behind my cool Sorrow Funko Pop, and it looks so good together. I might get some more Sorrow Funko Pops because they're coming out with some new ones, so I kind of want to get another one, you know? But yeah, those are my favorite items on this shelf right now.
One of the things that I love looking for when I'm going shopping is art prints, specifically if they're very niche. Etsy is great for niche art. Since I love anime and games, I really wanted to incorporate that somehow, and this piece is the perfect style because someone who doesn't know anime would just see it as art, and it complements the style perfectly.
So the not so pretty space of my home office is this closet. It's been a little bit of a struggle because I do have some plans with it, but they are a little bit expensive, so it's gonna take a while for me to make it what I want it to be. I do keep my lighting in that corner and all my tripods and all that stuff that I use for content creating. So that's like my ugly corner, but it's very useful because I do need all of that stuff. And then we have this closet, which, guys, please be nice. This is my closet right now, and I know it's a whole mess, but here is where I keep everything that I literally need. And I also keep my collectibles. I keep all my gifting packages that I get that I have to like schedule into my videos and content calendar, you know. So it gets messy because I have so many stuff. I also keep tech items that I need for content creation, for my PC setup. I have my GameCube, my original one from when I was a kid, and a lot of more keyboards and so much stuff. I do have some plans for this space though. I do have some plans. It's not gonna stay like this. I really want to get a drawer shelf unit to add to this closet. I do have to remove these shelves that were here when I moved in, and yeah, they're curving because they were already curving when I moved in. They are PVC, they're not even wood. I tried to make it cuter. I added some fake wood peel and stick, and it kind of helped, but it really didn't because everything is on display, and I don't love that. The drawers, I think, is where I'm gonna keep all the necessary stuff, the tech items, the products, and all that stuff that I can hide them away but still keep them organized. But on the top, I do want to add like a really big pegboard to display then my favorite things, collectibles, tech items that I really want to use or usually use, or stuff like that. So I can add more keyboards, keycaps, you know the drill, you know what I like already. But those are my plans. Cleaning this up a little bit with the doors, the drawer doors, and then having pegboard to display some cute things. And then the top of the drawer, I want to use it as a little bit of a second desk in a way. So that way when I have to record product videos, maybe I could use that as a way to record some stuff. I have no idea because I never had a second desk. I only have my desk and I usually record on my desk. But I think it would be useful to have two workspaces where I could, you know, make some product videos, reviews if I wanted to. So those are my plans. I know it looks like a whole mess right now, but I promise we're gonna make it cute in the future, and I will of course make a video about it. I also still haven't decided if I want to keep the doors or not, because I think it would be cool to remove them so it expands the room a little bit more, and then the desk drawer situation is just like another second desk. I've seen some creators do that and I loved what they did. I think it's really cool and I think it works really well, but at the same time the mirror doors help the light flow through the room, so it makes my room brighter. This room is really dark. I don't know if you guys noticed, but it is very dark. So the mirror doors do reflect on the light and it makes it so much brighter. So I do think the mirrors are helpful because this room is so dark. So I can't decide if I want to remove them or not. You guys maybe will be able to help me out to decide on that. So yeah, we have those two options. If I could give you some tips on what to think about before making your own space, it would definitely have to be to look for inspo first to see what you really like. Maybe make a Pinterest mood board and add every office space picture that you find, or other rooms as well, because those could help with finding out what you like. But just adding every office space that you see on Pinterest that you vibe with, adding them all into one mood board, and then taking note of the most repeating items. So if you have one color that you see on all the inspo pictures that you like, or one type of wood or one type of style, that is what you should hone into. Then you should make another mood board with those pictures that have the repeating item, because then you'll be able to see what you really like and what you will enjoy having in your own space. Another thing is really thinking about what brings you joy. Like for me, it would be anime, Studio Ghibli, plants, nature, and the warmth of wood and natural products and items. So really think about what brings you joy and add those elements around your own space. It doesn't have to be an overwhelming amount, just some little details, or like I did with my Studio Ghibli art print. It's a little bit subtle, but I still know what it's about and it really brings me joy. But someone could come into the room and not even notice that that's an anime art print, which I think makes it a little bit even more special. But yeah, I would suggest thinking about what really brings you joy and adding those things to your space. This really is the Zen cozy, full of plans, full of things that I love, room of my dreams. Thanks for watching, and let me know what you want to see more of. And as always, try to find some time to stay cozy.